We are live. Before we go into today's episode, just wanted to wish my deepest condolences to both the family and to friends of Scott Hall. Losing a tremendous legend in our community really was devastating to all of us here, and we wish the best for his family, friends, and all those affected by his loss. Now, let's get into today's episode. So, what's up, everyone? We are back with another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 21. I am joined by a very special guest here. He is the Lightning, the Incan Warrior himself, Rayo. How's it going, sir? Good evening.
Hey, Raymond. How's it going, man? How's it going for you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I'm doing better now that you're here. So, how's it going?
Awesome. It's going pretty good, man. It's a good day. It's been a good day so far. It's been a good weekend. Except for the news about Scott Hall, that's pretty tragic. But other than that, it's been pretty good, man.
Yeah, definitely. No, I've seen it. You've been pretty busy. It's been a pretty couple months of just getting everything out that rise right now. So we have lots to talk about today.
Hell
So let's start off because the podcast is Respect the Craft. So my usual question for everyone is, when you hear the term the craft, what does that mean to you?
The craft. I mean, the way that I understand it, I guess it's just like the craft of wrestling. Like the stuff that you do in the ring, the mat stuff, like the performance and all, and everything that comes involved in that. To me, that's what I think of when I think of the word craft. But let me ask you this: what do you think when you hear the word craft? Like, what does that mean to you?
To me, it involves everything. It's everything we do. The reason why we're doing this, it's a craft. It's the art form. It's the dramatics. It's everything we train to do. Everything we're taught in tape study. A little bit of everything. That's why I started the podcast, because I wanted to show that respect for this that we all put our bodies into.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, definitely. But let's go into this, because again, you've been doing this for a while, and I want to talk a little bit about your evolution, because I got to see your growth a little bit, because I got to see your earlier stuff as well. When you weren't sporting the war paint or the look that you currently are, but when a football was in your hands, when it was this version of Rayo. So let's talk a little bit about that growth from all this to now, the evolution and what your persona has become.
I think it all comes down to confidence. Like when I first started like wrestling, I was just like a dumb kid. I was a dumb kid. I didn't know much about. I just wanted to be a professional wrestler, and like I thought that like I was like, what is something that I could do as a character? Maybe I could be a soccer player. I thought it was something funny, something easy for the people, at least the people in Maryland to understand, because like the crowd in Maryland is a little bit more old school, so they're more into stereotypes. So it's like, so I came up with the soccer gimmick, and I started doing it for a few years. But mainly, I feel that the main evolution from that picture to the next would have to be confidence.
Okay.
More confidence, and also like just being more like in touch with my roots and in touch with what I want to portray and what I want to be.
Gotcha. No, and I definitely love that, Swan, that support for your roots, like we were talking about before this. Again, I said we're a fellow countrymen almost, because I'm from Ecuador originally. You with your Peruvian side, so it's amazing to see that. And also, I always love when I see Latinos embracing that culture and showing that out, because I feel like a lot of times we kind of hide it just to be more like Americanized for the profession.
No, I mean, I think I was like that too. Like at first, when I first started wrestling, I felt that I was like that too. I was trying to be more American and stuff like that. But there is something about like the Peruvian culture that kind of draw me into it. I think it's like there is I kind of like I really like the what's it called, like the ruins from Peru. I thought that was really cool.
Okay.
But aside from that, like there's a lot of tales and stories about like shamans and stuff like that. They talk about like this drink called like ayahuasca, and when people apparently based like a lot of people actually go to Peru and they take this drink, but apparently if you take this drink ayahuasca, it almost makes you trip. It brings you into a trip.
Yeah.
Where everything that you do, like all the things that you did in the past and all the things that you think about the future, all your anxiety, all your depression vanishes. It almost just keeps you in the zone and it opens you into the now, where you're
Hmm.
just totally present. So that's what draw me into like like going into that, because I was reading into it and I heard about it and I was like, I always been like, I've always been into that stuff. Like when I think of spiritual stuff, I don't think of like, oh, praying, oh, going this. It's more like I think about like the way that I see it. I feel that the world, they either think too much about the future and they get anxiety, or they think too much about the past and they get depression. And I feel that not many people can cope with the now, being totally present in this moment, like right now, like we are right now. At this moment, it's just me and you, and maybe a few people watching the show, and we're currently just talking about these things. Like those, that's what I'm talking about. That's the origin where I came from for my gimmick, for my character.
Gotcha. With that being said, is that why like your tagline is opening your consciences? Are you trying to do that? Make people get into that belief of being in the now? Is that where that came
Yes,
from? Okay.
yes. Although I do feel that people don't understand what consciousness means, so it's more like I would say I'm trying to change it a little bit to make it more for people more like easier to understand. Because I really don't think that people think what consciousness is. I don't think they
Yeah.
know what it is.
Yeah.
Um, I would say more like awaken your mind or
Okay.
something like that, or open
Yeah.
your third eye.
Oh, there you go. Well, I guess that would also lead to some things with Matt Sydal because he's very into opening that third eye as well. So,
Actually, Matt Sydal, he went to, I don't know if it was Peru specifically, but I know that he tried ayahuasca before.
so there you go. It has that it's the roots right there. So there you go.
Right.
That's awesome to hear. Well, let's talk about it again. Now, with that, you've been opening yours and you've been almost putting everything into the air. You've been manifesting your rise at the moment, and it's been definitely being shown now in CZW. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit. At this last show you were on, which was again an amazing show that CZW put together for as they're going into now their 23rd year in the business, which is still insane to me. You had your first main event against Tyler and Jetty. Tell us a little bit about
Yes.
that. How did that feel to get to be trusted with a main event spot in a company like CZW?
I mean, honestly, like I always like, usually like the day of the show, I kind of take things as they go. It's mostly after I'm done with the work, after I'm done with the job. That's when I finally have like a time to like think about the things that I just did. But during the time, the only thing that that was focusing on is like putting a good show for this people, because this is our third show in Maryland. This was our third show when we drew a lot of people, more than the first time. Like the first time I went there, it was only maybe like 25% of the attendance was there. Then the second time there was like close to 50%. So now it was, I would say, close to 75. It's still not full, but it's a lot better than the first time.
Yeah.
So to me, so like after the show was done and everything, like I felt like a lot of pride. Like I was like, like this is my first ECW main event. We killed it. Like action, and now we had like a very competitive match. People loved the match. People enjoyed themselves, and I'm sure they will come back. Um, so I was very proud of that moment. Like of what we accomplished. Everyone as a company, because every single match in that show killed it. Everyone stood out, and just like the crowd over there is just amazing.
No, definitely. And I love what that the state theater brings because it's almost like they're getting again with that environment being almost like a close niche, like it's that family feel that they're enjoying it even more of how the venue
Yeah,
is. So I love the look of it. I love how the crowd reacts. And no, that's awesome that again the crowds are starting to grow. And with those limelight shows, I can imagine it's going to get even bigger. And especially even with those studios shows now with Studio Z, which again coming up with we got this now all night long coming on March 27th. I can imagine looking forward to that. To Limelight not being your first and only, but just the beginning of main events for Rayo.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome, awesome. So I got to talk about that though. With you coming into CZW, and again, one of your very first promos there was saying that you were manifesting wanting to become the Wired Television Champion, becoming the World Champion. Do you attribute that to also that confidence of just saying you know what, I'm not waiting for my time. I'm putting it out now.
Um, um, I think it all comes down to like I don't think it comes down to waiting for me. It's more about how you feel about it. Like, do you feel worthy enough of being there? Like, a lot of people don't. Like, you ask anyone, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know. I have to maybe work hard before. I'm gonna have to take years of hard work and dedication, and maybe." I feel that it all comes down to attitude. Like to me, it's all about attitude and how ready you feel to be thrown into the wolves. And like to be honest, at this moment, I feel that I can take on anything.
Well then. So again, I like that charisma from you. Like the promos you've been putting out, it shows like there's that hunger there. And again, it's just showing you want what you feel is yours already. Like that match with
Yeah.
Action and Andretti, it was the tiebreaker in a sense because you guys were almost there with the four way with the singles. So going into that now, you've cemented your step there, getting that main event matchup. What do you see next for CZW? Where do you want to see yourself next? Is the championship gold that next target for you?
Well, first of all, I think that me and Action we have one more match to settle because like last time, like I won the first match,
Yeah.
Action won the second match, and I think we really want to find out who is the best, who is the man at CZW, and I feel that definitely we should get a third match. Definitely come back to Maryland and have like at least the one match to finish up this. And after that's done, after I win that match, um, then yeah, I would like to go for one of the CCW championships.
Well then, there you go. So there you have it. But also, so that with that being said, you're hoping for that match to happen possibly like at the Limelight 4 then, not back in Studio Z. You rather it end where it began, in a sense.
Um, I think that Studio C is a nice place. I think it's a good place to like to wrestle, but it does not. It has a different feel to it. Like it has a different energy. Like when you go to the show at the in Maryland, it just has a completely different energy. Like there is a lot more people, and it's just like the crowd is just so different, and I really like the vibes over there. So that's why I feel that we should end it right there.
Got you, definitely. And also I can imagine you've had almost a homegrown place there in Maryland, correct? That you've been with multiple companies, including especially which you're going to be coming up in MCW.
Oh
That you're
yeah,
going to be,
MCW Pro
yeah,
Wrestling.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm wrestling. I'm wrestling. What's it called? Jim Carrey right there.
Again, his words, not mine. Robert Locke, don't come after me. These are Rayo's words, not mine.
Yeah,
So I
Jim
get.
Carrey wannabe.
Oh man. So let's go into that. Your thoughts on going there. It's Spring Fever. I can imagine that show is going to be insane with the stacked card,
Uh
especially
huh.
including your match, and also eyes are going to be watching because from what I saw, Hitmaker's in the building as well. So a lot of people are going to be coming in. Your thoughts going into that night?
Oh, like I think it's like aside from the jokes about like Jim Carrey and stuff like. I know Rob Locke for like a long time. Like he was one of my first matches when I first started wrestling,
Oh wow.
and years later, it's been like maybe like 7 years since the last time. No, 6 years since the last time I wrestled him. So it's this is gonna be very special. Like I felt that we always had really good chemistry, and we're totally like opposite people personality wise, but at the same time we're very similar because we both believe like in expanding your consciousness. He's also into that stuff, so it's gonna be a very interesting dynamic.
Okay. Which I feel like that's going to add to it being an even more interesting matchup because I feel with that persona of yours and with that stance that you bring, it's almost like you're playing those mind games with your opponent before you even touch. So if
Well,
someone's
it's not.
also in that mindset, that's going to be a little more now. It's an even playing field.
Yeah, we're even now.
Yeah.
It's like he's just a little bit bigger than me, a little bit. Yeah, I would say a little bit bigger, but I'm smarter. I'm faster.
Oh, there you
He's
go.
crazier.
Hey, it's gonna be a fight there. So definitely, guys, check out
Mm-hmm.
OCW. You're not gonna want to miss that amazing event there. But we
Yeah, you
got
see,
more to talk.
he's even stealing my pose. He's just stealing
There
my
you.
post now. Look at that. He's just stealing my post. Jim
Uh,
Carrey wannabe. Now he's a Rayo wannabe. Unbelievable.
there you go. It's a little bit of everything. Again, you know what that is? He's trying to get in your head now. He's trying to get in your, and he's trying to awaken your mind and be like, hey, I can do what you do, maybe a little better. Who knows? Again, it's that seven.
uh,
It's 7 years of experience there as well. He's had a little more time under his belt. So, but again, we'll see how that matchup goes. But let's talk about again because in those 7 years or so and more, you've had some amazing opportunities. You've gotten to step into places that again are known around, especially in the pro wrestling community. Let's talk a little bit about this. Your time with Future of Honor, getting to be a part of Ring of Honor, and everything there. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How was that experience and getting to be a part of the Ring of Honor locker room?
I thought it was definitely different, because like I came from MCW, and MCW is a little like the rules in independent wrestling is different. But when I jump into Ring of Honor, I think you deal with people that have a little bit more egos or more like pride in themselves with their craft because they're actually getting, like good money to work there. So it's more like you're kind of like fighting for your spot. It's very uncomfortable when you first come into this places like Ring of Honor, like WWE or AEW. It's uncomfortable for like younger wrestlers because like you want to get a spot in there. You want to make a name for yourself, but at the same time I feel that it teaches you, like to have like a thicker skin. Like it teaches you to be like tougher and not just be left behind. So I like that about like Ring of Honor. My experience in Ring of Honor was always like it was tough, but it was a good experience because I feel that overall it just made me tougher.
Got you. I know I was gonna say I feel like that also could add to now your growth as well because I can imagine having to basically be in with wolves there, having to basically be
Yeah.
like, hey, we're all fighting for wanting to get that spot because unfortunately with cards like that, there's only so many spots, especially when a lot more people are coming in with Future of Honor.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
with that being said, your thoughts now of what's going on? ROH currently also it's purchased now by AEW. Would you see
Hmm.
an eye? I can imagine now they're trying to fill their roster. Would you want to see a return there to Ring of Honor? Would that still be an interest for you?
I don't know if it's much of an interest. Like I think that right now, like like my priorities right now is ZZW. Like I'm really working towards like we all are working towards making ZZW like a mainstay place again. And when it comes to Ring of Honor, it all comes down to like the opportunities that are available and also how it benefits me more than anything. I'm a businessman, so it just depends. At this moment, I don't have any thoughts on it, but maybe like in a month from now or sometime from now, I might have a different opinion.
I like how you said that though. Again, it's about the business. It's again, how is it going to make you better? And I feel like that comes with that growth. That comes with now
Yeah,
you have that mindset of, hey, now I have to look for what is going to benefit my brand, benefit what Rayo is. So
yeah,
I
because
like I like that idea.
I just don't want to be just along for the ride. I just don't want to be there just to be there. Like it's like now it's time to start thinking for myself and how it benefits me. I got to start putting myself over. you know.
Got you. No, and I definitely respect it. But also those opportunities, you also had one, and this is one I want to talk about because I feel like the response you gave it was definitely showing growth. But it was an intriguing response because you also were featured on AEW Dark. You had a 6-man tag against 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. But my question is also when you responded to it after the matchup and cutting a promo about it, you called it a failure. And it was weird to me when I heard that because everyone that usually does those opportunities, their first thing is to post about, oh, it was amazing, I killed it. Why was that your mindset coming out of that? Why did you feel like it was a
Well,
failed opportunity?
I didn't win the match. I lost, and it was a pretty quick match. If you see, it's probably like less than like a minute or so. So it's a failure just because I happen to be on like a big platform and a big place, and they're saying my name on the screen, and like that's not a win. Like to me, it's a failure. Like I want to win. I want to be the guy that is on top. I want to be the guy who's in the main event, holding that championship. That's who I want to be, and that's not what I like. So I gotta. Sometimes you gotta be honest with yourself. You know, you gotta be honest. You gotta realize what are the things that you want, and it's tough sometimes. For a lot of people, it's really tough to be honest with themselves because a lot of people are afraid to fail. Like a lot of people are afraid to say, "Oh, I want a main event WrestleMania," because they're afraid that it might not happen. So they don't even go and chase after it. At least for me, I have my priorities straight. You know, at this moment, like I said, my priority is building up ZZW. That's my priority right now. And my second well, next to that priority, I would say, is making myself a spectacle. I want to be a spectacle to be seen. That's what I want to become. I don't really care much if I'm getting signed or not, or just being under a contract.
Yeah.
All I care about is the brand Rayo and how I can make Rayo a spectacle.
Okay. I can respect that. And also I like where that comes from because again, you know your worth. The biggest thing people
Yeah.
say is if you're not putting yourself over, if you can't put yourself over better than anyone else, there's a problem. So I can see you're
Hey,
definitely about that.
yeah.
So that makes
Hey,
sense.
you mind if I turn on the light? I think it's
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
a
no
little
problem.
bit darker in here. Yeah, no
No
problem.
problem.
All right, much better.
Yeah.
I can see myself now.
There you go. No problem. No problem. You know what it was again? It's because you're lightning. So that's it. It's like, nah, he's good. He's better in the dark.
Yeah.
But no. So like we were saying, that also that makes sense because when I heard that promo, I'm like, okay, he has a. It's a different psyche of it. It's a different thought process. But now hearing it in person, uh, it definitely makes more sense. Understanding why you felt that way. So, but so I got to talk about this again. Sadly, you weren't able to come out on top on this matchup, but it's. I feel like this was an opportunity just in itself of what how immense it was. We got to talk about this, which was when you got to face Cinta de Oro. So tell us a little bit about that. Your thoughts on that and how that even came together. That insane matchup there.
Well, like I was the IoCW champion for a few months, and for the people that don't know, the IoCW stands for International Open Challenge World Champion. It's a long name, but this championship was created by Lucha Libre Online and Planeta Wrestling. These companies, like Hispanic companies, Puerto Rico and Spain, they created this championship to be defended all over the world. And I happened to be the first champion. I wrestle like local guys like such as Michael Walker, Clay, and also wrestle like international names like what is this, Ariel Levy from Chile, and the last person that I wrestled for the title was Cinta de Oro or Sin Cara, as many people know him. So for this one, it was an opportunity. It was a last minute opportunity in the month of September. I was supposed to actually go to the UK that weekend. I was supposed to be in the UK to wrestle for a different company, but it was like a last minute a last minute thing, and it's against Sin Cara in Texas. Uh, so I was like, I'm not gonna miss this. And on top of that, Alberto Del Rio was there.
Yeah.
Alberto El Patron was there.
Yeah.
So it was a good show. There was like a lot of people. It was like over 1,000 people. I feel it was outdoors in El Paso, and it was a great show. Like, and to be honest, I had Sin Cara beat. Like he
Yeah.
was on the ground. He was laying on the ground. He was helpless. I was literally on top of him. I was on top of the top rope, and I was posing because I actually had him beat.
Yeah.
But what happened is that Alberto El Patron, he just, he's a cheater. He's
Yeah.
he's an idiot. He doesn't respect the rules. He doesn't know what a real man is. He just grabbed a drink, he threw it in my face, and then as soon as that happened, I was distracted for just a second, and then this freaking guy Sin Cara just takes advantage of that. So that's what happened there. I don't know
Yeah.
what else to say there. Like I want a rematch.
Yeah.
Well, for the first thing that I want to do is I want to face Alberto El Patron.
I
I
was gonna
want
say
to
I can
show
I
him
can
who
imagine you
is
want
the man.
some you want some like comeuppance there because he's the
Of
one that cost you
course.
your championship. Yeah.
Yeah, I put so much effort in that championship. Like people don't realize this, but I spent like 6 months creating this title that didn't mean anything. I made it into something special. I was able to defend it in different places. I defended the title in Chicago. I defended the title in Miami, Alabama, Pennsylvania, Maryland. I defended it in different places. And I put so much effort into it to make it seem legit in the eyes of the audience, especially the Hispanic audience. And then this guy comes here out of nowhere, Cinta de Oro and Alberto del Rio, and they just take it. They just take it from me, like as if, and they don't put it. They didn't put any work for that. Like I put all the work for it, and they just took credit for that. So it's like,
Yeah. Well, again, that's hey, it's 2022. Opportunities are coming up. Things are opening a little back up again. Maybe it's time for that round two with you and
oh
Cinta de
yeah,
Oro, and also
yeah,
that final encounter now with you and Alberto el Patron, which
exactly,
with seeing that, I remember when I first got to see the footage, I just thought again, it's amazing to see. Also, just again, Hispanic culture getting to be showcased like that. Because again, the crowd
yeah,
looked amazing. Getting to see in El Paso, it's awesome to see something like that. Again, maybe the shenanigans weren't the best to enjoy, but just seeing again two greats of our community getting to face off against each other for a championship that you again made prestigious. You were making it something. To see
yeah,
that go down was insane, and to see the buzz that came out of it. Because again, Alberto was saying he was going to show up. He was going to show up, and he showed up in his corner. So,
yeah,
so there you go. So, well, now they both know. Hey, they're still on your radar. You want to make sure they awaken their mind there and remember that Rayo's still on it. So
yeah. I'm still on. I'm still looking at them. I'm
yeah,
always paying attention.
there you go. There you go. So, but that was an open challenge championship there. Talking about opens, let's talk a little bit about this opportunity you had. You got to be a part of Wrestle Open. How was that for you? With this new initiative there with Beyond Wrestling. How did you feel about that opportunity?
So like I wrestled for Beyond Wrestling a few years ago. I think it was back in like early 2018, late 2017, uh, and like I had a match against Anthony Green, and I felt that I didn't live up to expectations. I think it was an opportunity, and I don't think at the time I was ready. Um, so this was almost like my second, almost like a second match over there for Beyond in front of like the people that are in charge of Beyond Wrestling. So it was a totally different experience. Like this time, like I said, I was more confident now, and I think that we put up a great show that night. Like unfortunately, it was like I think it was snowing that day, so there wasn't as many people as I hoped for. As I hoped for, but overall, like we gave it all. You know, like I felt that the people were very happy and they were very impressed by me.
Gotcha. No, and I can imagine that they can see, like I said, that evolution from those few years ago to what's become now is a totally different Rayo.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
definitely the powers that be at Beyond are going to be looking and be like, time to awaken our minds a little bit and bring them back around this area
Yeah.
a little more with Wrestle Open. So, and that's also I love what they're doing there with Wrestle Open because it's not only is it sometimes like that surprise feel of you never know who's coming, but also what match pairings you might see. So that's always
Yeah,
great as well.
I think it's a good concept. It's a very good concept. Similar to Dojo Wars.
Yeah,
It's
that
kind of
definitely.
similar.
Yeah. Did you get to do that before this run now with CZW? Were you able to do Dojo Wars back in the day as well?
Yeah, I did. I did actually. I used to I team up with Joey Janela at one point. I was the bad boy too.
Oh,
I used to come out with him and I was like, I am the bad boy too, and I like sex. It was it was a good time. It was a
well,
good time.
hey, again, it comes with growth. Like, to imagine from those days of the dojo to now again, like we talked about earlier, main eventing a CZW show. So
Yeah.
I got to talk about that as well now with that growth and all that. When you first got into wrestling, was this, or at least when you first found wrestling, was that always the goal to say one day you wanted to be a wrestler? or did this just happen out of almost coincidence in a sense?
No, I did. I grew up as a wrestling fan, and watching wrestling. I used to be like, yeah, one day I'm gonna be like this. One day I'm gonna be in that ring. One day I'm gonna be doing all of this. And then at the same time, out of coincidence, I just happened to find opportunities that will lead me to wrestling. So it's just a little bit of both.
Gotcha. No, no, and I'm noticing that because again, it's been almost like lightning is striking for you. It's the gimmick kind of worked out because it's been
Yeah.
opportunity after opportunity, and it's like lightning is striking for you every time. So that works.
Yeah, honestly, I sometimes a lot of times I don't even look for them. It just kind of happens that way. Like I feel I don't know what it is, but I feel when I look for something, I don't find it. But when I'm not looking for it, it just comes to me. It's kind of weird, but that's how I feel like everything about my life. Every single day that I go by, like if I'm chasing after something, I never get it ever. But if I'm not chasing it, if I'm just like chilling with my, I'm just chilling and relaxing, it usually just comes to me easier. Like everything, wrestling, work, my personal life, anything. it's it's crazy.
Hey, it's a better way. It's less stressful, and it's just again taking advantage when those opportunities come though. And like
Yeah,
we've
of
talked about on
course.
the podcast, you've definitely been making those moments count, and again holding yourself accountable when they don't unfortunately go your way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so it's all about a process, you know. Like
Yeah.
right now, like maybe like a few years from now, I'm gonna be like, oh, I was like this back then, but now I'm like that, you know. So it's
Yeah.
it's a process. Like we keep growing. Like we're never the same person. Like I'm not gonna be the same person I was tomorrow. I'm not gonna be the same person that I am today. It's gonna
Yeah.
keep changing with experience, with things that happen in life, you know.
Definitely. And you can see it again, like we showed earlier. Look at this change here. Like even
Yeah.
the the look is definitely a lot different, a lot more drastic of a change. And I have
Yeah,
to
actually,
ask,
like now I have earrings. Luke. Check this out. I have
huh?
earrings now. So that's
There we go.
a new addition to the look.
I was gonna say with that, like, is this the final look of Rayo, or is it continuing to evolve? Can
Oh,
we
it's
see
gonna
even
continue
more?
to evolve. It's gonna
Oh,
continue
there
to
you go.
evolve. Now I'm wearing suits too. Like I'm wearing suits and
Oh,
still
okay.
wearing the face paint and nice suits.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm creating my own style. You know.
Oh, there you go. No, I like it. I like it. I definitely like the face painting look of it. That's why I even called it. It's like a war paint almost, and especially
Yeah.
for with that with if you understand like the Inca roots, it has a definitely a deeper meaning, which I love about that as well.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And I have to ask with that, how does that feel to be able to again embrace that culture of yours and embrace the cultura latina there? Because I feel like we were talking about earlier, I feel a lot of times we almost hide it, but when you're able to embrace it like that, I know that especially like I do, a lot of people respect and are able to get to feel like, oh, I definitely love this because again, it's I see my culture there. So how has been that reaction for you?
I think that for me, like I made something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Made it cool. Like made it cool, and now everybody wants to talk about it because it's cool. It's all about the perception of what's cool and what's not, you know. Like I took something that like to some people might be like old school or like ancient or like something that I just don't understand. I just made it cool for myself. I understood what it meant and I made it cool for me, and I like it. And at the same time, like people in Peru, they're very prideful about that stuff. So like they've been very supportive. You know, they've been very supportive of all of everything, like the mask, the face paint, like they love it. And here in the United States, like the people that might not know much about like the Incan culture, they might think it's Aztec. Or I don't care what they think it is. I honestly don't. The only thing that I want them to see is that as soon as they see me, as soon as they see the face paint, I'm like, damn, that's a really cool face paint. I've never seen something like that before. This is very unique to me. Like, you know, like that to me is very important. And then they can start like looking into where I'm from and what I'm about just by, but like the first thing is always the face paint because to me it's almost like my introduction card.
Yeah. No, and definitely you're quick to once you have them engaged, you keep it going. Again, with your even
Yeah.
with the promos you do, it's very an intriguing look how you're applying that paint and applying that look to yourself, and it keeps them interested. It keeps them wanting to watch. And then again, now you're cutting the promo, and you're saying stuff, and it's a deeper meaning there. So I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
how that's portrayed. So that's great. That's great. So also again, more opportunities coming. Let's talk about you're going to be in Texas for Mania week. How are you looking forward to that? And again, making that impact down in Dallas.
It's gonna be a great show. You know, it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna be there with like the plan is to be there with Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So like that's the plan. Just pick up any other booking that happened there. But I'm pretty excited because I've been in Texas before. I've been in Texas a couple of times. And every single time I go there, I really enjoy it. And this is gonna be WrestleMania weekend. You know, like I love WrestleMania weekend. I've been there a few times. I think the last time that I went, well, I've been there. Like last time that I really enjoyed myself at a WrestleMania weekend was for New Orleans for WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans.
Okay.
I loved that experience over there. I remember that we were like drinking every single night from Monday to Friday, having a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
like the one thing that I remember very clearly is that like there was outside, like there was this one club that they were playing WWE music. And like they were playing, I think it was John Cena's theme song, and we had like all these fans
Yeah.
like gathered just outside of the club, and they were chanting "John Cena sucks, John Cena sucks." Like it was amazing. Like I love that. I love the whole wrestling culture. It's like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, man.
No, definitely. And it's again, it's about those experiences like that. That it's what sticks. It's what's memorable. Like
Yeah.
especially WrestleMania week, it's always amazing. Like I remember
Are you gonna?
from this year, sadly, I won't be. The last time I got to actually like do a full Mania week was when it was here in the tri-state, when it was in Jersey and New York.
Okay.
Then it was
Yeah.
a week just full of shows. Like I was working so many shows that week that by Mania I was like, I just need to go watch it at home. Like I didn't even want to go to
Yeah.
WrestleMania, and I was 10 minutes away because I worked a
Yeah.
show that was at the Knights of Columbus in Ridgefield Park, and I was
Mm.
like, I could go because I'm right here. Like I could see. No, I'm gonna go home. So, but definitely that's those experiences. It's great. So I can imagine you're definitely looking forward to making that impact there down in Dallas, and again taking those opportunities. Maybe again it's in the Texas area. Maybe you run into Cinta de Oro again. Who knows? I
Yeah.
can
Who
imagine
knows? Who
he's going to be
knows?
down there as well. So
Yeah, I heard he's gonna be doing a few signings, so we'll see
yeah,
what happens.
there you go. There you go. So again, stay tuned, folks. We got everything pro wrestling in the chat. Yo, what's up, Conrad? Thanks for supporting, brother. Again, we're talking to
Hey, what's
Rayo
up, man?
here.
How you doing?
We got lots of opportunities we're talking about. We're talking all things wrestling here. So I got to ask as well, with everything going on with the opportunities you've had, where are you looking for your sites in 2022? Even past WrestleMania week, where do you have your sites? Outside of also, I know you're making your statement of trying to make CZW that staple place again. But outside of that, where are some places you are looking to have them open their third eye? Where do you expect for Rayo to end up in 2022 as well?
Hmm. You know, like I haven't thought about it yet. Like I just been very focused on like making myself, putting myself over, and making myself a spectacle to be seen. That I haven't really thought about what other places where I would like to work. Like I feel that right now, like I really just, I just want to keep working on my brand, and I just want to allow those places to reach for me instead of me reaching for them. You know.
Okay. So I like that answer because again, it's knowing your worth of everything. So instead of
Yeah.
I want to go here, no, they should want me to go there. What? I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they should. It's more like I'll just allow them. You know, like if they like, if I'm not like I'm very open. You know, I'm
Yeah.
very open minded. Like I just want to work on. I just want to keep working on myself. Like,
Yeah.
and with the places that I already have like a good opportunities with, I want to just keep working hard, making it the best out of it. Like I said, just making my name even bigger than where it already is. And like if there's more opportunities coming my way, and it makes sense for me, and it's good money wise, and it's good for my career and my brand, then I'll consider it.
Exactly. Hey, again, it's you're a businessman now, so it's
Yeah.
a different mentality. It's the almost for the prize fighter in a sense. So everything
Yeah.
has to be correct there. So okay, so let's talk about instead of places now. How about opponents then? Who are some people you have your eyes on?
Okay.
Because again, you're still trying to finish things with Action Ender. That's still at a 1-1 at the moment. But also, again, even with CZW, you have Lince Dorado making his statements there. You have Deshaun Pratt, who's been again a big veteran there. How about that? Who else do you have your eyes on that you'll like to make some magic with in that ring?
Definitely. Right now, like I would say, definitely Lince Dorado. You know, like I feel that I've been watching him. I think he's a very good worker. I just feel, I just have this sense. I don't know what it is. Like he hasn't. I just feel that he's a prima donna. I don't know what it is. I just feel he's a prima
Ooh,
donna,
okay.
and I really want to step in the ring with him because I want to be able to say it to his face, and I want to see how he reacts. Because I'm a big fan of reactions. As Rayo, I'm a very big fan of reactions. Like I say, I have a lot of respect for Cinta de Oro. I mean, I
Well,
have a lot of I have a lot of respect for Lince Dorado.
I was gonna say
Because
so not that much respect for Lince, but for Cinta de Oro, yeah, there's
no,
respect there.
Lince. I keep thinking about Cinta de Oro because he has my IoCW Championship. That that mother hugger, man. Anyways, like I was saying,
Yeah,
so I have respect for what Lince Dorado has done for CZW, and I have
yeah.
respect for what he's done in the WWE. I respect him at CZW because you know, like he's coming from TV, fresh off TV, and he's coming to CZW, you know, to help the brand, and he's one of the top guys right now. So I want that spot in order for me to continue to make a bigger name of myself and continue to grow the brand that is Rayo. I need to fight this guy, Lince Dorado, and I need to beat him. And aside from that, I still think he's a prima donna, and I want to have the chance to say it to his face during promos because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about finding the insecurity of every single person and pointing it out and see how they react. That's what I love. That's what brings me joy. Making these guys uncomfortable with
Oh,
themselves.
okay. So again, it's going back to like that mentality, like you were saying with Ring of Honor. So you got to be in that. You got to feel that uncomfortability,
Yeah,
and now you want to put everyone else in that mindset. All right.
exactly. Especially like the top guys, because I don't really care if you're like The Rock. I don't care if you're John Cena. I still see you as the same person. Like I don't,
Okay.
you're not different than me. And and then comes to another thing right here, like somebody else that I want to face. I don't It would be Rich Swan. I really want to work
Ooh,
with
okay.
Rich Swan,
Yeah.
and the reason why I want to wrestle him is because we had a 4-way at CZW 23.
Yeah.
All right, and when we worked each other, when we wrestle, like I saw that he has this unique energy that he's able to react to the people and the people will react with him. And
Yeah.
he's able to make everybody dance. Like he made us all dance. He made Action Andretti dance, and then I had to dance, and then you know, like everybody had to dance. So it's almost like he has that type of energy. He's very like happy. He's a very happy person, and that's very interesting to me because I feel that like I said before, I like to point out people's mistakes and I like to point out people's insecurities.
Yeah.
Like with Lince Dorado, I like to point out things that I feel about him, and same with Rich Swan. I feel that there is something that he's hiding through
Ooh.
all that happiness, through all that nice music. I feel that there is something that he's trying to forget. There is something that he's hiding. There's some type
Hmm.
of sadness that is in there, and that's why he shows all the music. That's why he's always dancing, and because he wants to forget about it, he just wants to have a good time and let the good times roll. That's how I feel about him.
Ooh. That's again playing those mind games. So I guess we should stay tuned because I know he's gonna be there for all night long.
Yeah,
So, oof.
yeah,
If I'm
and
rich, I gotta keep my
and
eyes
and
behind my back.
yeah. And there's another person that I want to face too. There's a lot of people I want to face, but somebody else that I really want to like face is Griffin McCoy. Like he's
Oh,
a
okay. He's been also laying those claims to be
yeah,
the top guy right now at CZW.
yeah.
He's been another one like you. They were that homegrown in the dojo system. So
Um, he's a you know he's still young. You know
yeah,
he's having kick ass matches over there. You know like he has a lot of hunger, a lot of passion for this business. He dedicates a lot of hours, and into like like perfecting his craft. I just feel that he's like, I don't know, man. Like I feel that he takes himself too seriously,
Ooh,
way too seriously. And he kind of also reminds me of like a high school bully for some reason. I don't know what it is,
hmm,
but he reminds me of a high school bully.
okay.
I feel he's still very immature.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to work with him, because I feel I want to wrestle him because I feel that I can bring that immaturity out of him, make himself look like a fool in front of everyone.
Ooh. So that's his insecurity there is being like made a fool of in
He
front of everyone. He's trying to put
he
on this persona in a sense.
Yeah, he doesn't want to seem like a fool. He wants to be seen like the top guy, but inside, like, to be honest, I feel that he really feels like a fool. Like, just like in here, like in his mindset,
Yeah.
I feel that he really thinks he's a fool, and he's trying to like throw everything out there to make himself seem like the bigger guy. He's like the top guy. I am this. I am that. I am this. But honestly, I think he's just an insecure, like, high school bully. And if I ever step in the ring and have the chance to also do promos against him, I'm gonna say all these things. Everything that I'm saying right now, I'm gonna say it. And we'll see how he reacts. He's probably gonna react with a high school joke. Oh, you're such a dweeb. Oh. So it's like,
No.
oh yeah.
So I
Oh,
could say you really like those reactions though. You like to play those mind games and get
I
them
do.
to have that reaction.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I hope that all these guys are actually like watching all of this,
Yeah.
because if they watch and they hear these things, I just the pleasure of them cringing out of it, like thinking about what I'm saying and cringing because they know that I'm saying the truth.
No.
Like, to me, that's how I enjoy myself. That's what makes me happy.
That's a guilty pleasure there. Gotcha. Gotcha. So there you
Yeah.
go.
And does that make me the bad guy? Not in my eyes. I'm being honest. Like, like the truth should set you free. Like, the truth hurts. And that's okay. Because the truth is what you need in order for you to grow as a person.
Okay.
You know?
I,
And
I,
that's what, yeah. I'm
yeah.
sorry, what you're gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I'm not here to say anything like that, to name any names. It's maybe a little bit of some bad guy tendencies, but again, you're on the podcast. I'm not gonna say anything bad about you, so uh,
Yeah.
I won't comment there because we're trying to have a nice cordial conversation here. So let's keep it going here. Which again, before I let you go, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time here, I have one final question I like to ask everyone to see again where
Uh-huh.
their mindsets are. So your end goal, where do you see Rayo at the end of all this? Where would you like yourself to be and your brand?
Oh, so you want me to go to the ultimate, like,
Yep. Like
okay,
after all the
okay.
evolutions, after we've gone through the mask changes and the face fades, maybe you bring the soccer ball back. Who knows? But
Who knows, dude?
after all this,
If I bring the soccer ball back, it would have to be like in a death match or in a hardcore match or something.
ooh, you
Put
know
it
what? You
between
are at
somebody's
CZW.
legs.
You never know.
Oh, who knows? I'm open for anything. But if I have to say like the last thing that I wanna, like, like if this is like the last accomplishment that I will have, I would be like it would be like I would be like a multi multiple times world champion and in Hollywood making a lot of movies and being rich and famous. That's what I would do.
There you go. There you go. So here we go. The multi-talented Rayo again, and that brand
Yeah.
that continues to flourish. I definitely can't wait to keep seeing what you do, not only in CZW but around the independents and again beyond, because we never know where again this leads. If the price is right, maybe one of those major companies as well. So, but
Yeah.
again, definitely go check
Absolutely.
them out, guys. Let's make sure they're following you as well. Go check them out on Instagram. You got Rayo Wrestles right there. Also on Twitter at Rayo Wrestles. And especially if you're going down to Dallas for WrestleMania weekend, you're going to be enjoying all the festivities. Definitely keep
Mm-hmm.
a lookout because Rayo will be there. And again, you never know what incarnation, what you might see. Because I can imagine for Dallas, there has to be something special possibly coming out. Because again, it's making that impact in front of the world, basically.
Yeah,
So
exactly. But anyways, Anyways, bro, thank you for bringing me here, giving me this platform. I had a good time, man. Like I
Oh,
really had a
thank
good
you.
time. I had a
Glad.
good time, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you guys for watching. As always,
Wait. Before I finish, like make sure that like you put, like how like you put like your hashtags or like no the what's it called, my usernames for my Instagram, Twitter. Let me just do it myself, okay? Like if you guys want to find me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Rayo Wrestles. RAYOWRESTLES.
there you go. Also, the links are going to be in the description down below. So make sure you
Sweet.
check all of that. And again, go support, go watch Rayo, go to CZW. Again, they're killing it over there. I definitely am a big supporter of what CZW is doing. And again, March 27th, go check out All Night Long. Also, go to MCW. They're going to be producing their great show there. You're going to see two guys. They're looking to awaken your
Jim
mind.
Carrey. Yeah, Jim
You're
Carrey.
going to see Jim Carrey there. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you guys are gonna make everyone think. That again, it's a scene out of a movie. So there you go, guys. But as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people. And as
Yeah,
always,
like me.
respect the craft. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.